Hello, beautiful people. I hope that all is well in your world, and this day was a fantastic day for you and all of your wonderful, wonderful loved ones. My beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. When Trump's lips are moving, he is lying. For example, just today, he stated that President Obama did not have a plan, a process in place to reform, to reimagine policing in America. He did just that. He had many consent decrees that was active. He had a plan in place, and he passed that plan on to the Trump administration. And what Trump did was discard it, got rid of all the consent decrees, etc., etc. When Trump's lips are moving, he's lying. I don't see how anyone except white folks could believe anything that Trump says. Now, I understand how some white folks can believe Trump because millions of white folks out there are just like Trump. They are criminal-minded. They are white supremacists to the core. There are millions of those white folks. 63 million of them voted for Trump in 2016. So make no mistake about it. White folks are our enemy. Period. Are all white folks our enemy? I will not go as far as that. But 63 million white folks voted for Trump. And it will be no different this time. There are millions of white contributors that are pouring money into the Trump campaign every day. Those folks are Trump-like. They think like Trump. Their worldview is likened to Trump. They are white supremacists to the core, just like Trump. And that paper thin ice executive order that he signed today has no power, reforming power, authority whatsoever. It's just something that he put forth to indicate to those 63 million racist white folks that voted for him that he is doing something. And he's hoping that what he did today regarding that executive order on police reform will fool other white folks out there into thinking that Trump has a real police reform plan in place. He does not. Do you know that Trump, Pence, Governor DeSantis of Florida, Governor Kay Ivey of Alabama, Governor Dave Ducey of Arizona, Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, Governor Bill Lee of Tennessee, Governor Tate Reeves of Mississippi, Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota, Governor Henry McMaster of South Carolina, and Governor Kim Reynolds of the state of Iowa. All of these people I just named are white folks. All of those folks, those governors, are Republicans. All of those governors are committing murder in plain sight every day. Do you know 117,000 Americans have died of the COVID-19 disease? Do you know that 25 to 30% of those people that are dying are black folks, people that look like me? Do the math. 25 to 30% of 117,000. More black folks have died from COVID-19 than any other group of people in this country, my beautiful, intelligent, black brothers and sisters. In some cities, for example, Montgomery, Alabama, 90% of the COVID-19 patients that are hospitalized are black folks, people that look like me. In Chicago, Illinois, it's about 70%. And you can go to any major city where there has been or is now a COVID-19 outbreak, and you will see that the overwhelming majority of those COVID-19 patients are black folks. And there's a disproportionate amount of black folks that are dying from COVID-19. These white, racist, Republican governors are doing murder in plain sight. They are doing murder in plain sight. Just as that inhuman white cop in Minneapolis had his knee on the neck of George Floyd until George Floyd expired. That was murder in plain sight. These governors are allowing COVID-19 patients, victims, to die because of insufficient testing, insufficient medical equipment, the absence of a plan of attack, insufficient tracing of contacts, etc., etc. And the biggest murderer resides in the white boy house because the federal government has no plan. The federal government do not want a plan to attack COVID-19. They want to lie about it. They want to pretend that it doesn't exist. They want to lie like Pence and Trump did today, that COVID-19 is on the downslope, which it is not. In 2021 states, COVID-19, the curve is still on the upslope. They haven't even peaked yet. But Pence and Trump gets on national television and lie. When their lips are moving, they are lying. And believe you me, there's 63 million white folks out there that will believe those lies. And when you go out periodically, I will venture out when I absolutely have to. And I always wear a mask. I always wear gloves. The overwhelming majority of folks that I see that are unmasked are white folks. I don't know how it is where you are, but where I am, the overwhelming majority of people that are unmasked as I venture out periodically are white folks. And they are taking their cues, their instructions from people like Trump, Pence, Ron DeSantis, governor of the state of Florida, Greg Abbott, the governor of the state of Texas, Kim Reynolds, governor of the state of Florida, state of Iowa, etc., etc. These white folks are committing mass murder every day. From 800 to 1,000 Americans are dying from COVID-19 every day. To this date, more than 117,000 have died. And 25 to 30% of those deaths, those people that died, are black folks, people that look like me. The American people have a job to do. We have an election coming up November the 3rd. It is up to the American people to say no to the Republican Party, to say no to Trump, to say no to Pence. That we have had enough of the criminality, the criminal acts. There's a gang of criminals occupying the white boy house. There's a criminal U.S. Attorney General in control of the DOJ. There's a criminal in control of the State Department. There's a criminal in control of the U.S. Treasury. And 63 million white folks are still blinded, cannot see that, and they are still supporting those criminals in the white boy house, and those criminals that are controlling three of the most important agencies of the federal government: the DOJ, the State Department, and the U.S. Treasury. All are controlled by criminals. And the biggest criminal of all is Trump in the white boy house. That's what I have on this one. Please go to thethrasherway.libsyn.com. There you will have access to all that I do.